Hello, my most beautiful besties in the entire world. You guys are just looking amazing today. So for today's video, we're doing my top 3 in every single category. I did this video last year. I had so much fun doing it. You guys seem to really enjoy it, so I decided to bring it back again this year. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alrighty guys, so before we dive into today's video, I just want to say welcome back to another episode of Halloween. You guys still love me saying it. I still really do love saying it. So last year I did a video where I did my top 3 in every single category, and then I was like, you know what, I really had fun doing that. I think I did it like last August. So I was like, why not do that again this year, especially with the holiday seasons quickly approaching us and the end of the year literally quickly approaching us. I thought, what better way to kind of go over everything that I've been loving this past year and tell you guys what my top 3 products are in each category. So we're going to start off with like a pre-primer. So these are my top 3 primers. Duh. My God, it's a top 3 video and I'm going my top 3. Okay. We're going to ignore that. We're going to go in just to my top 3 pre-primers. So starting off, we do have the Milk Makeup. This is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Blurring Stick. If you guys don't know, if you're new here, hi, I'm Allie, and I am the president of the Extremely Oily Skin Club. So I focus on products that really do cater to oily skin. I do try some products for dry skin, but mostly I do stick to oily skin. And see, these are some of the products I tried that work best for me. So since I have very, very oily skin, I make sure that I pack on the mattifying products to make sure I try to stay as oil-free as possible. And I found that this amazing stick right here does a really great job at absorbing excessive oil on my face and keeping me matte all day. Now, this is supposed to be a blurring stick. It doesn't. Like, I find that no product that I use really minimizes the pores. It does help to blur, but this is not one of them. This just does a really great job going onto my T-zone and really helping to make the skin nice and mattified, making it nice and smooth. So then I go over it with the primer. It just kind of adds that little extra layer of protection to really help to lock in that oil, which I really do look for in a product. And I feel like this is just absolutely fantastic. A little bit does go a long way. I've had this since sometime this past year. Couldn't tell you when I got it, but I've had it since sometime this past year. And I really just love going in my T-zone and trying to make my excessive oil go away and just keep me as mattified as possible. Speaking of that, we do have the Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. This is a mattifying primer and face serum. And actually, I had the pleasure of meeting Danessa Myricks, and when we met, I actually told her particularly about this product, about how much I loved it and how well it works for my oily skin. You know, there's not that many brands out there that do cater to oily skin, and her brand is one of the few that does, and it makes me so appreciative. And I find that a little bit of this goes a long way. You really do not need much. You just take a couple drops and kind of pat it in the area that you find you have the most trouble with. So for me, it's almost all over my face, but it's not. It's like specifically in my T-zone area, especially right around here where I do have those really large pores. I tend to focus this product on there, and I just take a few little drops and I just kind of tap it on and just let it dry down. It's a fantastic product. I find that it does not budge any makeup sitting on top of it. It's just a really fantastic product that really helps to make my makeup last all day and help to keep me mattified, which I really appreciate. And then lastly for that, we do have a oldie but a goodie, and it's the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA's Pore Smoothing Blur Drops. These do nothing for the pores, absolutely nothing for the pores, but I find that this just really helps to mattify the face. This helps to give me a nice smooth complexion while keeping me mattified and making my makeup last all day, and that is something that I really look forward to. That's something I really look forward in a product, is keeping me mattified. It did nothing for the pores, and so I almost got rid of this and hated it, but then you guys said keep trying it, so I did, and I find that this just really helps to give me that matte look. So whenever I go into the primer, it just works so well with every single makeup product that I use. It's a fantastic product. I think it's almost like a skincare product, but I still use it right before makeup application because it just really helps make my makeup last a lot longer and keep me mattified all day. Then for primers, so starting off, we do have the Milk Makeup. This is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this primer non-stop, but this is such a good primer. I cannot tell you how many of these I've gone through. I've gone through several of them them at this point because they really just do a great job at making my makeup look nice and smooth, giving it such a long lasting effect, and just really controlling that oil. It does the best job at controlling the oil. It just really helps to lock it in, and then whatever product I put on top, it really just adheres really beautifully with it. It mixes really well, and it just makes the makeup last a lot longer than other primers out there. I love the way my skin looks with this. I usually can wear this on the days I'm having no makeup look, and I just have this on and it still just keeps me nice and mattified. It's an absolute fantastic product. Really do love this. The next product that I really do recommend is the One Size. This is the Oil Sucker Extreme Mattifying Primer. I have been using this since I got it. Mine's practically empty. If you guys saw my Sephora recommendation video, I talked about this being one of my absolute favorite primers. If you have oily skin, this is going to be a holy grail for you. This is absolutely going to be a holy grail for you. Not only does it really help to just suck in the oil, but you can really feel like a tightening effect on the face. Like this is supposed to be like a pore tightening as well. I wouldn't necessarily say it tightens the pores. It does give you that sensation of like your face getting really like tightened and you feel like you can't move. But it just does a great job helping to blur the appearance of the pores, which I appreciate. But for me, it's the oil control property. I rarely get oily with this. And if I do get oily, it looks more glowy than anything else. It looks like I'm just kind of starting to like glisten than look like an oil grease ball, because this thing is absolutely fantastic. Now, this is definitely for those who have really oily skin like myself. If you have dry skin, I don't think you're going to like this in the slightest, because this really is going to really dry you out. But for someone like me, I need that. So for me, this is a definite must. And then lastly, for primer, what I love to pair with it is actually the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. I am wearing the Oil Control Extreme Sucker primer, and I put this on top. This does such a great job at just blurring the appearance of my pores. It doesn't really do anything to control the oil, but it really helps to blur the appearance of my pores. It's what I'm wearing on my face right now. There's something about this that I just find to be so beautiful. Just mixing it with the oil control, I don't know, it's like I had the oil control property and then I had the blurring property. It's just a great combination. I would never wear this by itself, just because realistically I will get really oily if I do wear this by itself, because I've tried it. But pairing this with an oil control primer really just looks really beautiful. I focus this straight on the areas with my really large pores, and it just helps to make them look really soft. This is just a really beautiful, beautiful primer. Now we're moving on to foundations. I technically have 4, but it's because I couldn't choose. So we're just gonna go into this. So 3 of these primers you guys literally saw me talk about in my Sephora recommendation video, but I gotta talk about them again because they're fantastic. First, we do have the Urban Decay. This is the self-setting foundation. This is beautiful if you have really oily skin. Now, typically, if you have normal to dry skin, I still think you're gonna like this, because with this foundation, you do not have to set your face with setting powder. It is designed to not be set with setting powder, but since I do have really oily skin, I still set my face with setting powder just because I need the extra protection. But this just goes on really beautifully. The second that you blend it out, it dries down really nicely. It blends really well with every other product I put on top of it. I found no issues with it. It doesn't separate, it doesn't cake, it doesn't lift. It just works really nicely. And I just find that this really helps to control the oil, which is something that I really look forward to in a foundation, because the foundation, the primer, and the setting powders, I feel like are the key components to really locking in that oil for me. So I look for those products that do what they say they're going to do, and this is definitely one of them. I think it's a really nice foundation. It is great, I think, for anyone. I think this is great for all skin types, but if you do have oily skin, I definitely recommend checking this out. But please still use setting powder, because I think it still gets a little oily with it. Next, we do have the One Size. This is the Turn Up the Base Full Beat Liquid Foundation. This is a beautiful foundation if you have oily skin. Now, if you have normal to dry skin, I still think you're really going to like this. This is a full coverage foundation. It gives you such a beautiful coverage. It's really easy to build up. You could make it a little bit more medium if you wish to do so. But if you have really oily skin, this is going to really help to control that oil and keep your makeup lasting all day. Now, I did multiple wear tests on this. When I did get a little oily, the best part about it was that it did not lift. It did not separate, it did not cake. All I had to do is go over with a little bit of setting powder or blotting paper, and it looked like new. And I really love that about this foundation. I just love how easily it worked with all the other products I've tried, and I just love how easily it controls the oil and makes my makeup look beautiful throughout the day. So definitely a must. Then we do have what I'm wearing on my face again today. It's the Huda Beauty Easy Blur. This is a natural airbrush foundation. There's something about this foundation that I just really freaking love. It does nothing for the oil, but it just makes my makeup look really smooth. Do you see how smooth my face looks? It's really easy to work with. I love just kind of applying zigzags on my face, blending it out. It dries on really easily. It works so nicely with every product I put on top of it, and it just makes my makeup look nice and blurred and really soft. It has like a really soft complexion to it, and it really just helps to minimize the appearance of the pores. They're still visible by all means. I can still see them, but they just look a little bit softer and not so harsh in your face. And that's what I love about this. It gives you, I don't see a filter effect because it doesn't give me a filter effect. Trust me, it doesn't. But it does make my skin look nice and soft, and I really have been enjoying this. I won't wear this to work because I know I'm going to get oily when wearing this, but I still love wearing this on the days that I'm not going to work, so I think it's really beautiful. And then lastly, I still think this is my absolute number one holy grail foundation. This has been my favorite for like the last, I think, 2 years. And it is the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Foundation. This is absolutely just freaking amazing. I've gone through so many bottles of these. I've tried the new version, which is what I have right here. I've also tried the old version. I got all my friends on this. Whether you have dry skin or you have oily skin, they make foundation for both of us. They have a combination to oily skin foundation, and then they have a normal to dry skin. Both parties, from oily to dry, say how much they love this foundation because it's just so universal. It works with all different skin types. It works with all different skin types. It has a great shade range, and I just really, really love this foundation. Not only is it super affordable, it's super accessible too. You can find this in Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. You could find this foundation on Amazon. You can find this foundation anywhere. It's like 11 to 12 bucks. It is still a staple for me. This is the one that I wear to work every single day that I go to work. I go to work 3 days a week. This is my holy grail. This is what I wear. I know this is going to keep me mattified all day. It's not going to separate. It's not going to lift. It's not going to cake. It's going to be beautiful. Products that I put on top of it are going to be beautiful. I never have any issues with this. It doesn't oxidize down and change colors. It's the true form of what it is, and I just think it's so great, and it's so underrated, and I'm kind of glad that it's underrated because it means that it doesn't sell out, and it's my baby, and I love it, and this is my absolute favorite holy grail foundation. If you have oily skin, trust, and if you have dry skin, go get the dry skin version. You'll thank me later. Moving on to concealers. I talked about this in my Sephora haul, but we do have the Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer. I don't know why I like this so much. I do. I'm not a concealer person. Concealer and brows, I could give 2 shits about, right? Not a fan of. But for some reason, I really do like this. I feel like it just does a great job at laying underneath the eyes. It blends out really nicely. It feels super hydrating. It feels very lightweight. Doesn't feel like it cakes underneath the eye. Doesn't feel like it has product buildup. I still get like wrinkly, but it doesn't crease, if that makes any sense. It's just really nice. I really do enjoy that. It's the same reason why I love the Makeup by Mario. This is the Surreal Awakenings concealer. This is the second one I have. I think this is, again, super beautiful. It's very lightweight. It's very blendable. It's very breathable. It blends so easily into other products. I never have any issues with this, like caking or separating or transferring, anything like that. It just lays down so freaking nicely, and it definitely feels super lightweight. It's not really as full coverage, but there's something about it that I just think is really beautiful. So that's why I do recommend it. And lastly, we do have the e.l.f. This is the Hydrating Camel Concealer. Again, just like the other two, it's super hydrating. It's super lightweight. It's super buildable. It's breathable. It's blendable. It's just a beautiful, beautiful concealer. It's affordable. You can find this in all the, drugstore locations out there. I just really, really enjoy this. Like I said, concealer is my least favorite product, but those 3 are my favorite. Now we're going to move on to liquid or cream bronzers. So up first, we do have the LYS. This is going to be their bronzing stick. When I first got this, I absolutely hated this. I'm sure you guys have heard me tell you guys that. I absolutely hated this, but then you guys told me to keep trying it, so I did. This is so beautiful. A little goes a long way. You don't need much of this product to blend out because she's super pigmented, but once you get the hang of it, she blends like a dream. She blends like butter. Like, she is so easy to work with. It has been sold out for so long because of how amazing this bronzer stick is. The second that I run out of this, I have the shade Harmony. Best believe, besties, I'm picking me up another one because it's so good. I love the way that it blends. I love the way it melts into the skin. It just gives you a beautiful, soft, bronzed look without caking, without drying, without, creasing, without like lifting or separating. It doesn't do any of that. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful formula. Next, we do have the Too Faced. This is the bronzing contour stick thing. It smells like a Tootsie Pop, and let me tell you, there's something about this. I freaking love this thing, and I don't know why I love it. It's just so easy to work with. The way that this just melts into the skin. First off, I apply it directly onto the face, and then the second I start blending out the sponge, oh my god, I swear to god, it just literally melts. It just like melts like a freaking piece of chocolate in the sun, and it just absorbs into the skin, and I swear it just looks so effortless. Looks like you're glowing from within. There's something about this that is so easy to work with. I think this has become one of my absolute favorite like bronzers because of how easy to work this. Now you can definitely make this a contour. It's supposed to be contour and bronzer. I do the lightest shade just because I do go over my face with a little bit of powder bronzer, but I just love the way that this works with any product. It doesn't matter what foundation I have on, this works seamlessly with it. It's like its best friend automatically. There's something that's so great about this. So I highly recommend picking up the Too Faced one. This one's so good. And then lastly, this one actually took me by surprise, but it's the Morphe Hot Shot Sun Drops. Yo, this is so beautiful. Like this literally melts into the skin. And I typically don't like a lot of Morphe products, but the second I tried this, I fell in love. So you take this and you can just literally blend it into the skin. And I'm not kidding when I say this, it just, do you see how it's like doing it? It melts into the skin. Like just literally melts into the skin, and it just gives you a soft, radiant glow without being too overpowering. And it just looks so beautiful, so natural. It looks as if you stepped out into the sun, got a little bit of like tan on you, and you came back inside and you're just glistening. There's something about this I think is so beautiful. Again, this works really nicely with all the different products I've had out there. I've never found any issues with it, you know, lifting up my foundation underneath, transferring, moving, none of that. It just blends and melts so beautifully, and I really fell in love with this bronzer. I've used it a lot. And I just think it's a really great product from Morphe, and that just like took me by surprise because like I never say that about Morphe products. Moving on to blushes, we have the IT Cosmetics. This is Glow with Confidence Sun Blush. I actually am wearing this today. I have the shade called Sunlit 10. There is something about this that I really have fallen in love with. I think it's because I use the Milk Makeup brush. I take this and I literally go on my hand like so, right? Just take a little bit of product, and then you could just like tap it in, and it literally just blends straight into the skin. Just melts and blends straight into the skin. It gives you such a beautiful color. And then whenever you go over it with like concealer and everything like that, you can blend out the edges, and it just like literally gives you such a beautiful, soft, rosy glow, or like a blushy glow, which I really appreciate because like you know, you guys know me, I like to be as mattified as possible, but it's nice having a little bit of glow, and this product does that. Like a little bit of this product goes a long way. This thing is full, and this is going to last me for a very long time because a little does go a long way. It doesn't take much to add a little bit of blush to your face. That's what I'm wearing my face today. Just a little bit on the blush brush, and you just tap it in, and it just melts straight into the skin. I really do love that. Speaking of blushes that melt into the skin, we do have the Morphe. These are the Hot Shots blush drops. Again, this product just literally melts straight into the skin. It doesn't take much. You just take a little dot or two, right? And then you can literally just blend this out. And I'm not kidding when I say that this, one, beautiful, beautiful color, right? But then two, it again just melts straight into the skin and just gives you a beautiful, soft, blushy glow. Like it's so beautiful. And then whenever you put a setting powder on top of it, it doesn't really take away from how the product looks. The only thing it will do is make it not look so like glowy, but it doesn't take away from the beautiful pigmentation that it gives you. And again, it just melts right into the skin. It works with so many different products out there. And this is one of the few Morphe products I really fell in love with. Now, and I was like, no wonder why this was viral all in the summer, because people were just obsessed with it, myself included. I thought it was beautiful. And then lastly, for cream blushes, we do have the House Labs. These are the Glassy Balm serums. These are so beautiful. I have the shade Hibiscus. This just goes on straight into the skin. You blend it out. I talked about this in my Sephora recommendation video. I love these. I did not think I was going to love them when I first tried them. I just wanted to try it because you guys know I don't like a blush cheek lip combo thing. It's just not for me. It's not for me. But this just works beautifully. I think it's because it does have some skincare benefits to it. Even though I typically don't like a lot of makeup with skincare in it, some reason this just works really well. It just melts into the skin. It gives you soft, beautiful glow, and it gives you a really nice pigmentation to it. And again, it works really nicely with setting powder. And I just think the House Labs did a really great job with this. Moving on to setting powders. We technically have two categories of setting powders. We have one that's super blurring and ultra smoothing, and one that's for oil controlling. So we're going to move into the oil controlling one first. So up first, we do have the one size. This is the ultimate setting powder right here. Mine is empty. She's empty. I have to get a new one because she's empty, but this just does a really great job helping to control the oil. Is it the most foolproof one? No. No. She's not. I still have to, mix it with a little bit of other setting powders because I do get oily. But this just really just helps to lock in that makeup. It really helps to control it for at least like 8 hours or so before I start to get oily. And I just think it's really, 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 really nice formula. I've gone through this entire thing. I do already have a backup of this. I'll probably pick one up during the Sephora sale. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful setting powder if you have oily skin. Another beautiful setting powder for oily skin is the Lunar Beauty. This is the, oh my God, like look at that. That's all I have left. That's all I have left. This just does a really great job at just controlling the oil. Manny has oily skin, so he created this product to have products to help to control the oil as well. And I just feel like it's really beautiful. I don't always wear this by itself. I do tend to mix with other setting powders, but for me, I do find that on the days that I'm doing like a no makeup look, this is great to help to just lock that in and control as much shine as possible. Really beautiful. And if you guys want to pick one up, you guys can use my code Allie to save 10% off. Now, my two holy grail setting powders for oily skin, I mix these two together all the time, and I just find they worked so beautifully. And I've talked about these for years, so this should be no surprise that we have the Kimchi Chic Puff Puff Pass Set and Bake Setting Powder. This has nothing left in it besides that. That's it. That's all I have left in it. I have been going through my setting powders. I've been doing really good, not buying excessive amount of products, and I'm actually going through them, and now I need to go get more. But this has been a holy grail for years at really containing the oil. It just does a really great job at giving me a soft blurred effect while controlling the shine as long as possible and making my makeup last all day. I absolutely have been in love with this for years since I tried that, and it's still a staple in my collection, as is the Nakia Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder. You guys know that I have talked about this, I think since 2020. I have been talking about the setting powder. Again, this is a tried and true holy grail setting powder for oily skin. If you have oily skin, you will absolutely love this. I do have some product left. This just does a really great job at locking in that makeup for as long as possible and really helping to contain the oil. And if you do get a little oily, you just look a little glowy more than greasy, and I really appreciate that. And I definitely have to go pick up more of this because this is my last one. I had so many backups and I've gone through them, and this is my last one. I gotta go get some more, and best believe I'm gonna use my code to save 15% off when I get that. And that was 4 products. I also just realized they almost look identical. Do you see that? They almost look identical. What the heck? Oh my gosh. That's a little funny. Okay, so now moving on to setting powders that's meant for like blurring and giving you like a really soft blurred effect. So the first one we have, and now I do have the full size of this because a subscriber sent it to me, but I still want to use out the mini. We have the Huda Beauty. Oh my Jesus. This is why we can't have nice things, okay? So I have the Huda Beauty. This is the Set and Bake setting powder. This is so beautiful to really make your makeup look soft and blurred. It does nothing for the oil. Nothing for the oil. But I love to take this and apply this underneath my eye. It's so pretty to apply this underneath my eye. I don't know why I love it so much for that. It's so pretty. It really makes my eyes look nice and smooth. It makes my face look nice and smooth. It smells absolutely incredible. And it just really helps make makeup look beautiful for first couple hours. But then it started to get oily. But it still looks really beautiful for the first couple hours. I can see why this has gone viral for years. I finally had the full size of this, but I wanted to finish out my small size before I opened the full size. The Glamlight Translucent Setting Powder. I really love this setting powder. It's what I'm wearing on my face today. This just does a really great job of making my makeup look nice and smooth. It doesn't do anything to contain the oil. Like, it doesn't. I've tried several times with different products to really contain the oil. I still get oily when wearing this, but luckily it doesn't look super bad. It just looks more like I've been standing out in the hot sun for a couple hours, so I'm starting to sweat a little bit like that, but not disgusting. But I will say it does a really great job at helping to make my makeup look nice and smooth. And I love how smooth my makeup looks. It's, like I said, it's what I'm wearing, and I love like how it looks throughout the day. If I'm just staying indoor and I'm just doing filming like a video like this, it's perfect for that. It's such a beautiful setting powder, and I think if you have normal to dry skin, you are going to love this. I think you'll definitely love this. And then the last setting powder, which I really fell in love with, which I talked to you guys quite a bit this year, is the Polite Society. This is the More Than a Pretty powder. Yo, this is gorgeous. If you want to have the most smoothest, like baby bottom face, look no further. This will literally blur all your imperfections. It will blur those pores, and it does help to make your makeup last all day. but I still get a little oily towards the end of the day. My only issue with this that I have is that trying to apply a highlighter on top of this, I really have to build it up a little bit more than normal. I feel like because it's so soft and it's so silky, the highlighter just doesn't want to necessarily like stick to it to make it look nice and vibrant. It just doesn't want to do that. So I had to build up a little bit more, but I'm still able to make it work. I just had to build up more. But other than that, I think this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous setting powder. I love wearing this on the days I really want to have a really smooth complexion look, just a nice even, and just looks like I have a filter. This is the way to go. It's gorgeous. Alrighty, next we're moving on to powdered bronzer. So I always use a cream bronzer, but I still go over my face with a powder bronzer because I just love doing that step. So we're gonna go into the first one, which is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer. She's so loved. I still love this, even though this is probably a couple years old at this point. Oh, for sure. She's old. She's old, but we're gonna treat her with respect, okay? She's traveled me to different states on cruises in LA. Like, she's been with me through the ringer, and I still really love her. Even though I've hit pan, she's still so beautiful. So beautiful. That's her old age squeaking at me. Don't worry, honey. My bones make the same noise when I get up. It doesn't have the smell like it once did. The smell is kind of gone now. I don't know if that signifies anything, but I don't care. I will keep using her until there's nothing left because it just was a fantastic bronzer. I really hated that they stopped making this and that they stopped doing beauty. I really wish they'd bring this back because it just was such a phenomenal formula. No wonder so many like influencers over the years talked about how great this was, and I just took too long to jump on board for it, and I love her. Another bronzer that I really have been enjoying is the YSL bronzer. This is just really beautiful. It's really expensive for what it is, but just really helps to give you an airbrushed look. It's so pretty. It's so natural. It just gives you a soft bronze look. I do have the shade, I don't know, there's other shade name on here. I think I have the lightest shade. But either way, this is just really beautiful. I love the way that this blends on the face. I love the way this just works with all the other products out there. It gives you a soft bronze effect, almost like an airbrush effect, but it is just really, really pretty. And then lastly, my holy grail. I've been talking to you guys about this bronzer, and I'm sure you guys already know what it is now. It's the Sephora bronzer. Yo, this is just so good. This smells like what the Marc Jacobs used to smell like. I think that's why she's cracking on me. She knows I found a replacement. This Sephora bronzer is just incredible. So I do have the shade called 00 Sun-Kissed Haze. It's the lightest shade, and I've already hit pan on this. I've recommended this so much in my Sephora recommendation video. Just in like general, I've recommended this. I love this so much. It's what I'm wearing on my face right now. It is just so beautiful. It's so easy to work with. This, I swear, is the perfect dupe of the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer. This is the perfect dupe, literally. And it's like, well, if it was still around, it's like half the price. Like, you can't tell me they're not the same. Like, come on. They're almost identical. So freaking good. Love this so much. And I am proud of myself for hitting pan because I usually don't do that a lot with products. And I did with this. It just shows you how well it's loved. Moving on to powdered blushes. So again, I kind of talked about these in my Sephora recommendation videos. So I'm so sorry for repeating myself, but I just really love them. So first things we have is the Kosif Life is Baked blush. This is the shade called Bliss. This is a peach blush. I love a peach blush. Like, that is my favorite. Peach and coral are my two favorite blushes to rock. And sometimes like a mauve pink. It just really kind of depends. I just feel like this is so beautiful. This just really blends so effortlessly onto the skin. And just gives you a really soft, like such a soft blush effect. Like, you really kind of have to build it up to get pigmentation, but when you do, it just looks so airbrushed and it's very easy to work up. It's so easy to like build up. And the best part about this is that like you can't really overdo it, which I really appreciate, because if you do, you can take a big fluffy brush and just wipe away the excessive blush and it still blends out beautifully. Such a fantastic blush. That's why I recommended it last week. Just like I recommended the Dior Rosy Glow blush, this thing is so freaking pretty. So freaking pretty. I love this blush. It's what I'm wearing on my face again today. It's so pretty. It's so effortless. It does have just a really like soft glow. Like, again, this is one of those blushes that you really have to like build up. Like, it's what I'm wearing. You have to build it up. So that way it's not too, you can make it intense or you can make it not as intense. And I really do appreciate that. The only thing I don't care for is the small size and the price point, but it's just really beautiful and works so well with every product. And then lastly, the last blush I want to recommend is the Patrick Ta. This is going to be the She's the Moment. Forever, I was obsessed with She's Passionate. I still am obsessed with that blush, but they no longer make the monochromatic blushes. So instead, they make duo ones. So you have a cream and you have a powder. I really love the powder one. So this is a peach blush. I do like the cream one. Now what he does is he goes in with powder and then he tops it with the cream just to give you a little extra oomph. It's really pretty to do it that way. But I just find that his formula is just incredible. Like the one that She's Passionate, let me show you, was my favorite for years. And it's still a big favorite of mine. It still is. But this I found like it's like a perfect, almost like dupe for it. Not dupe, but like a sister companion. Like they're very similar in color. They're almost identical in color, and it's the same type of formula, so it's why I love it so much. But I wanted to recommend this one over the She's Passionate because they don't make this one anymore, but they make this one, and I just really recommend checking these out. If you love a cream blush and a powder blush, you cannot go wrong with that. Moving on to highlighters. So I technically have 4 highlighters to recommend, but that's okay. So the first one is my absolute ride or die highlighter. I've talked about this highlighter so freaking much, but it's the Iconic London Lit and Luminous Baked Highlighter. This is just so beautiful. I swear this is so beautiful. Like you can literally build this up if you want to, and you could keep it low key if you want to. This just literally goes on, and see how it just like melts into the skin. This melts and gives you a beautiful glow from within, or like a lit from within, which is how it's supposed to be. I love this formula. You can keep it soft and just like a soft glow, or you can really build it up to give you like a nice high shine. It just really kind of depends on you. It's such an easy formula to work with. A little bit does go a long way. Like I have this is where I've mostly been taking the product from, so you can see there's like an indent. I haven't even touched the rest of the pan because I'm savoring this. This reminds me so much of the Jaclyn Cosmetics Iced Highlighter. It's very similar, and I feel like that's why I love it so much, because Jaclyn Cosmetics no longer is around. So this is what I fell in love with. Now, if you don't want to spend the price point on that, but you want to get the same quality, then look no further than the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Highlighter. This is so gorgeous. This is what I'm wearing on my face right now. Again, you can see that she is well loved. This does not take much to create a really beautiful, effortless look. You just take this and you can build it up if you wish to. You can keep it nice and glowy. It is so easy to work with. It builds on top of any foundation or any product you have on the face. It just builds so beautifully on there. It gives you that soft, like lit from within glow. It's what I'm wearing on my face. And a lot of times when I'm wearing this in my videos, you guys always say, oh my God, what's your highlighter? Besties, it's the L'Oreal one. It is so freaking good. And it's a perfect dupe to the Iconic London one. Love this. Next, we do have the ColourPop Flexterian. I love this highlighter. This is like maybe like a cream highlighter, so we can count this. This is just so beautiful. Like a little bit of this just goes a long way. You can really build this up if you wish to. This gives you such a high pigmentation. This can be used as a highlighter. This can be used as an eye topper. It is so gorgeous. Such a beautiful formula. I have been in love with this for years. I've talked about this for years. It's one of my favorite highlighters out there. I love the high shine. I love the consistency, and I love that no matter what over the years, ColourPop has not changed it, and it's still one of my favorites. And then lastly, we do have the Rare Beauty. I have the shade called Exhilarate. This is so beautiful. The only problem with this is that these do break really easily, but the formula is so freaking nice. This again reminds me a lot of the Jaclyn Cosmetics Iced Highlighter, but this just gives you a softer glow. So it's just one of those highlighters that you can have built up, or you can keep it soft and glowy like that if you wish to. It works very beautifully on so many different products out there. I really do enjoy this, and again, I love the way that it shifts on the skin. It's really beautiful, and it makes it really beautiful inner eye corner. Okay, so now moving on to the eyeshadow category. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what I did last year. I don't remember what I did last year because I didn't watch my old video. But I decided to do something a little different today. So we're going to do multiple categories because there's multiple products I want to show off. We're going to do a drugstore category. We're going to do a high-end category. We're going to do a neutral category. We're going to do an indie category. And we're going to do a colorful eyeshadow category. So buckle up because this is, again, going to be a long video. So we're going to start off with the drugstore category. So up first for drugstore, I still am obsessed with the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette. I feel like ColourPop just makes really fantastic eyeshadow palettes. At the end of the day, they really do. And this to me is still a tried and true. I love this so much. You could actually find this one at Target, which I think is really great because this palette's been out for years and years now. I want to say since like 2018, 2019, this palette has been around and it's still a classic. So many people still are obsessed with this. I love seeing this at my local Target, and whenever people are over there and I see them browsing the ColourPop section, I always tend to recommend this particular palette to them because it's just that perfect neutral drugstore eyeshadow palette. The formula works great. There's no pressed glitters in here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful formula, and it works really, really well for a drugstore. And even though ColourPop's a really big brand, I consider them drugstores. So for me, absolutely recommend that. Just like I do recommend anything from NYX, I find that NYX really does make some fantastic eyeshadow palettes. They really do. So I'm just going to show off the Ultimate Paradise Shock one right here because it's the first one I saw. They make fantastic formula. Now, not a lot of drugstores do, in my opinion, when it comes, like, not a lot of drugstores really stand out to me when it comes to eyeshadow formula, but NYX just does a really great job making the mattes super pigmented, very easy to blend, and the shimmers are really gorgeous. Are they the most wowing shimmers? No, but for drugstore, I think they're really fantastic, and it just makes me want to try out more things from this brand. And then lastly, surprisingly, this brand, I hate their complexion products. I feel like their complexion products are just shit. They never work for me. But their eyeshadow products always work beautifully. And it's the Essence brand. Essence makes really beautiful eyeshadow formula. I have quite a few eyeshadows from Essence, and I just really love their eyeshadow palettes over their actual like other products. For me, their palettes are super easy to work with. They're so colorful. They're so blendable. They don't have as much fallout. The shimmers work really beautifully. You don't need glitter glue with them. You don't need to like have a lot of fallout with them, and it's just really pretty, and they're super, super affordable. So anything from Essence, I highly recommend checking out. So those are my top 3 drugstore recommendations. Now moving on to high end. So I definitely recommend not just these palettes, but just the brand as a whole. So up first, we do have Natasha Denona. Regardless of my situation with the brand and the little issue we had a while back, they still make fantastic formula. I will never knock them for that. They make beautiful, beautiful palettes. Their formula is just incredible. Not only the mattes super easy to work with and they're blendable, but the shimmers are just so gorgeous. It's the quality for me that really makes me come back to this brand time and time and time again. I love the color schemes. I love the formula. I love the color schemes in here. I love the eyelooks I create, and I just really think they create such beautiful, aesthetically pleasing palettes. So it's why I keep coming back to them, and I just feel like they're so worth it. And if you ever do want to pick anything up from the brand that's not Sephora's website, you guys can use my code to save 15% off. But if you guys have tried anything from Natasha Denona, you know that at the end of the day, they do have some pretty great formula out there, and it's why they're so coveted and why everybody buys them, because their formula just speaks for themselves. Next, I really think that Huda Beauty makes some fantastic products. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite products from Huda Beauty. It's the Empowered palette. There's something about this palette that I just think is so damn gorgeous. I think it's the gold shades in here. I love the different formulas. They have like a cream, really weird texture formula. I don't know how to describe it. And then like it's a really weird, like wet, creamy eyeshadow. Then they have their gorgeous like foil shimmers, and they have those beautiful mattes. Their mattes are super pigmented, but they blend effortlessly. There's not that much fallout with them. And then their shimmers are just so gorgeous. They feel like foils. They last you all day. They don't really flake or fall out. I love, love, love Huda Beauty's formula, and I love the holiday palettes that come out every year, and this has been my favorite for like 2 years now from them. It's such a gorgeous palette, so I recommend checking out this palette in particular, but also just any palette from them as a whole. And last but not least, for high end, we do have the Danessa Myricks palette. So here is the Lightworks Volume 5 palette. This is such a beautiful palette. Now I am going to be picking up the Lightwork Volume 6 palette because I really want to get that. I played with it in person, but this is just really beautiful. These are going to be like their multi-chromes and duochromes in here. They work so effortlessly. You could apply them with a brush, you could apply them with your finger. They work really beautifully. I think Danessa Myricks makes some amazing chrome shadows, and I think she did. I think her palettes speak volume. It's why the Lightworks do so well for them, and I just really, really, really love playing with these palettes. Now this one doesn't look like it's touched because this is the new one that I just got because I can't find my other one. I can't find my other one. I took it out to show you guys a while ago, and I don't know where I put it. And I'm like, please find that, because that's like a $120 palette, so please find it. But yeah, this is so beautiful. I love the formula in here, and I just feel like they did such a great job at just capturing the essence of a multi-chrome and a shimmer, and their formula just speaks their formula speaks volumes, and it's why I would happily invest my money in this brand over like you know, Pat McGrath, who has nice formula, but this to me, so much better. Now moving on to neutral eyeshadow palettes. So at the end of the day, you guys know I'm a colorful girl. I love colorful eyeshadow palettes, but there are times I do like to rock a neutral look like this. So up first, we do have the YSL clutches. So right here, I have the shade called 300. This is so beautiful. These clutches come and clutch. They're so great. They're so easy to travel with. The mattes are super pigmented. They do have a lot of kick up in the pan. They do tend to fall out as well. And the shimmers are just really soft. Like I do lay down some glitter glue when I play with these shimmers, but I will say it doesn't flake. It doesn't budge. What you see right here is going to stay all day. They're really easy to work with. They're super, super pretty. I really love the formula. I have 2 of these palettes. I recommended them during my Sephora recommendation video. I just really think that for neutral eyeshadow palettes, I think YSL did a really good job with it, which you typically wouldn't think of that with like this type of brand. Normally I don't like luxury brands eyeshadow formulas, but for this one I really do like. So definitely a beautiful neutral palette. Another beautiful neutral palette that I do find myself picking up quite often when I want to do a neutral look is the Makeup by Mario. This is going to be the Ethereal eyeshadow palette. This palette is just gorgeous. This is a perfect neutral palette. You're going to have those great transition shades and those great shimmers. Now these shimmers are more like eye sparklers or like eye toppers. They really don't look like a shimmer necessarily in the eye unless you put down some glitter glue, but they just have a beautiful like eye topper feel. Like that just gives you like a nice glistening effect to the lid, which is really nice if you're looking for that. I just find that I kind of grab this if I'm doing like a really soft eye makeup look and I'm going to work. I just want to put on one of these toppers and I head out, or I want to put on just a little transition shade and I head out. You know, the Ethereal palette sold out for a reason. It's just, the Ethereal palette was, you know, I think sold out for a reason because it's just really beautiful. This is a great neutral palette that you can use every single day and never get tired of it. And I just think it's really, really beautiful. And then lastly, I still think this is my absolute favorite neutral palette, and it is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette. I still go back to this palette every single time I want to do a quick neutral look. In particular, I go into the shade right here called Milk Tea, and I put the shade called Laura right on top, and sometimes I add Sam, but mostly these 2 shades together are what I use, and it's just so pretty. I literally do this all the time if I'm doing just a soft quick glam and I know what quick glam, and it's gonna have like a soft little purple touch to it, and I know this can make my eyes look really pretty. It's gonna make my makeup look really pretty. I wore this to my glam night event. I wore this to a wedding. Like this is my go-to look. I took this with me to Vegas when I want to dress up. This is just a beautiful neutral palette. You're gonna have those neutral shades right here, transition shades up here, this gorgeous beautiful shimmers, and it's just so pretty. It's so timeless, and this is probably one of my favorite Lunar Beauty palettes out there. So if you guys do want to pick this up, I recommend it because it is fantastic. Okay, so moving on to colorful eyeshadow palettes, and you guys know that colors are my favorite to work with, so I have 3 sitting right in front of me. Duh. Okay, so the first one being Blend Bunny collaboration with Ellis. Now this is a perfect colorful palette. I mean, like, look at this thing. Need I say more? Need I say more? If you are looking for a beautiful, colorful eyeshadow palette, this is what you need to look for right here. This is going to give you everything you're looking for in terms of colors. It has different undertones to it, different undertones to it. It has different like pastels, bolds, it has shimmers in here. It is just a beautiful, gorgeous palette, and plus it has the Blend Bunny formula. You guys know that Blend Bunny has phenomenal formula out there, and to me, I feel like this is going to be the like younger, hotter sister to the Blends palette, but I will always hold a special place in my heart for that. But for me, this just gives you a great mix if you are a makeup artist out there to use this to create so many different looks. You could do so much with this palette. It is so versatile, so it's why I definitely had to put it in for colorful palettes because it is amazing. Now the next one, I don't know if this is still a palette that they make, but if they do, I definitely recommend checking out. It is the Stacey Marie Love Tahiti Volume 3 palette. Again, this is a beautiful, colorful palette. This is just great if, again, you want to have those bright, bold colors, but you want to have some shimmers, you want to have some neon shades, you're going to get that all in this right here. This is such beautiful formula. I love the Be Perfect Cosmetics formula along with Beauty Bay. Those 2 brands overseas make some fantastic products, but let me tell you, this is such a beautiful palette. I used this so much back in the day, and I still go to this if I want to have like a really colorful look. I know I can still go to this and still trust this because this is beautiful. And lastly, for colorful, I have to bring this up because this is the original colorful OG palette, but it is the Blends palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. To me, this is still a staple in my collection. Even though I mentioned the Ellis one, This is the original Blends palette. This is what like started it all for me when this came out with like, I've always loved color, but really started to dive a lot more into color because of this palette. These mattes, I swear they just blend themselves out. They're so easy to work with. They're so beginner friendly. And if you are ever wanting to try anything from Blends Bunny, I'd always recommend starting off the Blends palette because it's just a beautiful, colorful palette. And if you are a makeup artist, this is great to have in your collection to use on clients. It is just so perfect in terms of color. Moving on to single eyeshadows, I do recommend trying out any single eyeshadow from Inslee Rain Cosmetics. These are just a few that I have right here. I have to find empty magnetic cases for them, but the formula in here is incredible. If you guys have ever tried anything from Inslee Rain Cosmetics, you know how their shimmer formula is. That is this. That is this right here, but in a single format. These are so beautiful. They're so buttery and they blend so effortlessly. You can wear them by itself or you guys can wear them on top of other shades and they just are gorgeous. I'm obsessed. Same with the Adriana Nicole Cosmetics I Am Everything. Now she sells these individually, but I don't have the individual shades. I just have the palette. But I just want to let you guys know that these 6 shades right here actually are sold individually. If you guys head over to her website, even on the TikTok shop, you guys can find them individually. My favorite shade is Ethereal. This right here is just so creamy, so buttery. You guys always ask when I'm wearing my eyes when I'm wearing this, do you see how wet that looks? Look at how wet this looks. This goes on, looks super wet. It's a beautiful like multi-chrome. It is gorgeous and it looks like this on the lid. It looks that wet on the lid. It's why I love it so damn much. And it's I need to get her shades individually, but like just look at how gorgeous that is. Now you guys, if you want to try the rest are just as gorgeous as that one, but she does sell these individually, so that's why I'm showing it off today, because typically I wouldn't show the palette off in a singles, but since they are sold individually, I just haven't had the palette. Let me tell you, these went viral on TikTok for a reason, because they're gorgeous. And then lastly, for single shadows, we do have one of my favorite, which is the Too Faced Disco Crush Face and Eye Sprinkles. Now I have this shade right here called Magic Sprinkles. I have already talked to you guys about this quite a bit. I showed this off in my Sephora recommendation video. This is just amazing. This takes 2 seconds to apply the lid. You put down some glitter glue, swipe your finger, and just tap it on. Boom, out the door. The easiest eye look you'll ever create. It is so beautiful. It's perfect for every single day makeup look. Like, you do not need much of this. A little bit of this goes a long way. I know they're $30, not $20 like I said. They're $30, but let me tell you, they're worth it. I would 1000% rebuy this. The second that this runs out, I'm buying another one because of how much I love it. And then lastly, for indie brands, I tried 3 new indie brands this year, and I am so glad I did because I fell in love with them. So the first one is going to be the Cosmic Brushes. We have the Undergrowth palette. This is the prettiest green eyeshadow palette if you ever ask. This is the prettiest green eyeshadow palette ever. Now, I never got a chance to show you guys how I did my 2 different eye looks. I did show off my 2 different eye looks, but I never had a chance to show you guys how I did it. At some point, I definitely will have to, because this palette deserves its justice. It's just that when I was filming with this, I had an issue with someone that was my friend, and I was really devastated, so I just didn't have the heart to film. But yeah, I would like to redo that, show you guys how gorgeous this is. The formula here is incredible. The mattes are super blendable, very pigmented, very like soft as well. But it's these shimmers. These shimmers are multi-chrome and duochrome shimmers, and they are just gorgeous. And this palette itself is just so gorgeous. I believe it's still available for purchase, but if you love green eyeshadow palette, look no further. This is going to be for you. Next, we do have the Inslee Rain. This is going to be the Groovy Garden palette. Now, I've tried a few palettes from them this year, but I still keep going back to this one in particular because I just love this palette so much. Not only are you going to have those cool tone shades up here, but you're also going to have this cool tone deep shade. So you almost have like a cool tone pastel, cool tone deep, and then you're gonna have these beautiful multi-chromes up here. The shimmers in here are just incredible. Not only are they super vibrant, but they're multi-chrome. They blend very beautifully. I absolutely am obsessed with Inslee Rain formula. No wonder this brand had gone so viral and their palettes sell out. Like, they're gorgeous. They speak for themselves. They have some of my favorite formula out there, and this to me is still such a gorgeous palette. I actually ranked this my #1 palette I tried so far this year, and she's still up there. She's still up there because it's just so beautiful. Lastly, for palettes, I highly recommend checking out the Bella Beauté bar. This is the Poison Garden palette. I'm still obsessing with the look that I did with this palette. Not only are the mattes in here just incredible, but their shimmers are just like any other, man. They are so beautiful. They literally lay down on your eye like such a dream, and they have such beautiful like pigmentation to them. and they're such beautiful multi-chromes. Like I can't describe it other like then you have to just try it yourself, but just trust when I say that I still am obsessed with it. I looked at a creator when I use this palette. I still love the formula. The way these shimmers just mix together so nicely. Like they do, this doesn't even captivate. This right here, right now I'm looking at it, it's actually green. When I put my hand down, it's green and then purple. So it's like a green purple. Do you see that? It's so freaking beautiful. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful formula. Absolutely was obsessed with this. I was obsessed with my eye look, and this brand really took me by surprise, and this became one of my favorite palettes that I played with so far. I am obsessed. Obsessed. Okay, moving on to lips. So we have quite a few lips to try out. Oh my god, this video is so long. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. So for my 3 lips, I absolutely am obsessed with these formulas. So the first one being the Fenty Beauty. This is the shade called Rubber Bands right here. It's actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. This lip liner is just so creamy and so buttery. It just literally glides on the lips and blends like a dream. Like you technically don't have to put anything else on top of it if you just want to have a creamy like lipstick look. But this is so beautiful. The only problem is that it's hard to like sharpen, and you're going to go through this a lot quicker. Like I'm going to go through this a lot quicker, but I love the way that this looks on lips. It's one of my favorite lip liner formulas, the way it glides on. Reminds me a lot of the Jaclyn Cosmetics lip liner. Then we do have the Rare Beauty. Let me swatch this so you guys can see. So this is the shade called Rubber Bands. Look at how pretty that is, right? Then we have the shade called Rare Beauty. This is the shade called Wise. Again, this is such a beautiful formula, but what I love about this, it twists up. I feel like more brands need to do a twist up lip liner because it's just so freaking pretty. It's so easy to work with. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of is how chunky the lip liner is. So it doesn't make it so you can create a nice precision lip liner, but it's still really beautiful nonetheless. It's very, very easy to work with. It glides on, and it actually has a great longevity to it as well. And then lastly, I really fallen in love with the Glam Light lip liners. These lip liners are so good. They're so creamy. They're so buttery. They glide on the lip like no tomorrow, and they're very easy to sharpen. They're very easy to sharpen, and they have great longevity to them as well. I think they're so pretty. They remind me a lot of the Jaclyn Cosmetics formula. I said that to you guys when I reviewed the Glam Light Hershey's one, like this one right here. I said the same thing, although mine does have a little bit of like stinky smell to it. It's starting not to smell that fresh anymore. It's kind of making me question it, but you know what? I'll just hold my breath whenever I use it. But I absolutely love the lip liner formulas. They don't sell their lip liners individually. You do have to buy them in a kit, but let me tell you, those kits are absolutely worth it. Then for lipsticks, I have 3 lipsticks to recommend. The first one being the Glam Light lipsticks. I love their lipsticks. They may not have the prettiest colors. I'm not the biggest fan of their colors, but their lipstick formula, they're really just like creamy. They're soft, they're creamy, they don't make my lips feel any particular way. They feel like chapstick, which is something I really appreciate. And they blend really effortlessly with the lip liners and lip glosses. They don't transfer, they don't budge. It's really pretty formulas. That's why I do recommend them. Along with Merit Beauty. Merit Beauty also makes really beautiful lipsticks as well. So this is the shade called Ginger. I love this shade called Ginger. So this is how Ginger is going to look. I'll put Ginger right here. Very, very soft, very creamy. I usually, whenever I wear this, I usually don't wear anything with it because I love that it still has like a really soft like glow to it. It's like a satin finish. It's so creamy. It feels like a nice lip balm on the lip. I love the Merit lipstick formulas, and you guys tend to compliment me whenever I wear them. Definitely recommend checking them out. And lastly, surprisingly enough, I really do like the YSL lipsticks as well. So this particular shade right here, this is called, well, I don't know, their fonts are so tiny, but I love their lipsticks because again, they have a nice little balm effect to them. They're super pretty. Everybody was obsessed with them for years. I never really understood why until I tried it myself, and I was like, this is why. Because they glide on like butter. They're gorgeous formula. There's so many different shades you can choose from, and I just really do enjoy their formula. Then we do have lip oils. I really do love these lip oils right in front of me. So the first one being the ColourPop. We have the So Juicy lip oils. You guys cannot go wrong with these. These have a beautiful like peppermint smell to them. I love the peppermint smell. The only thing I don't like is the application. For me, their application, it gets stuck. And so do you see how like it kind of pulls out? That's something I don't like. But other than that, it smells incredible. It has a beautiful, delicious peppermint scent. It gives you a nice high shine. It's non-sticky. Has a beautiful color to it where it's like a little bit like color with a little bit of sheer tint to it. Blends really nicely with every product you put this on, and it doesn't like transfer the lips. It stays on quite a bit, and I just think that's a really beautiful formula. Just like the Summer Fridays, I think has a really beautiful formula. These went viral like during the summer. The only thing you guys told me about these is that it does tend to leak. I think I noticed it one time, but I love the way that this applies. It's such a beautiful color. You can put this straight onto a lip liner and it's give you a nice color. For being a lip oil, the fact that it's super colorful, it says a lot, because a lot of lip oils don't usually provide coverage the way that this does. It does. It's a beautiful, beautiful formula. It's long lasting, beautiful high shine, very hydrating on the lips. It's non-sticky and I really enjoy the lip oils. And then lastly, we have my favorite, which is the Gazoo. This is the Coconut Frost. This just looks super pretty on the lip. It just gives you a beautiful soft glow. It smells like coconuts. It tastes like coconuts. It has a little bit of like a frosted look to it, so it gives you like a little bit of sparkle. It's really, really, really pretty. I highly recommend checking out their honey lip oils. Apparently they're reformulating their lip oils to be even better, and I already think they're great as it is. Okay, next we have lip plumpers. So first one we have is House Labs. This is going to be a 4-in-1. It's a lip balm, it's a lip oil, it's a lip gloss, and it's also a lip plumper as well. The formula is incredible. It's long lasting, it's non-sticky, it's high shine, it smells incredible, and it definitely gives you a little bit more of a plumper look without giving that really intense burn, which is something I really, really, really appreciate. I have been obsessed with these since I tried these. I think back in like February since I tried these, and you guys have seen me recommend them to you guys nonstop, and I just think that they are absolutely worth checking out. Same thing with the Charlotte Tilbury. Their lip plumpers right here. These are, again, really gorgeous. Like the formula on here is really pretty, and the color is super pretty as well. Like look at how pigmented that is. It definitely doesn't have like that full-on like stinging sensation. It's there, it's light, but it doesn't sting, which is something I really appreciate. I just really love wearing this lip plumper because I love the way my lips look. It looks so hydrated and so like high shine and plump, but without the stinging sensation. But the one that does give you a little bit of stinging sensation is the Lawless. This is a shade called Lavender Sorbet, and again, I'm just obsessed with this. I keep this one in my work bag specifically because it's so pretty. This just blends on your lip very effortlessly. It has a nice watermelon smell, and you do feel it tingling. It feels like a peppermint sitting on your lip than a stinging sensation, but it's really gorgeous nonetheless. Then we do have lip glosses. The first one I recommend is any Glam Light lip gloss. Their lip glosses here are so nice. They're super, super like high shine. They're really beautiful. They smell incredible. This one smells like French vanilla, almost like a popcorn. It smells like almost like a popcorn now. But I love the way these feel on the lips. They're super high shine, they're non-sticky, they taste delicious, and they last quite a bit. I think they're really beautiful. Just like I do have to recommend my own from Over Cosmetics. This is the Koa lip gloss. I absolutely love this lip gloss still. It's so freaking beautiful. Love the way that it's cut, like love the cover. It has a little bit of a bronze reflect with gold. It's a bronze lip gloss with a gold reflect to it. It smells like watermelon. It's going to last you quite a bit. It doesn't have like an all day longevity, but it's non-sticky, it's high shine, and I just really, really love this color. And then lastly, we do have the CoverGirl Clean Yummy Glosses. I have every shade at this point. I love these. I have them scattered throughout the whole house. Like mine are dirty because I love them so much. But like legit, you guys cannot go wrong with these. These are super, super affordable. I think they're like $8 to $9. They smell so damn good. They complement any lip. I tend to wear these a lot by themselves, but I think they're just really, really, really pretty formula, and I've talked about them a lot. And last but not least, we do have lip balms. The first one being the Summer Friday Butter Lip Balms. I love these. I keep the iced coffee one on my desk. I apply it to my lips every single morning when I start off my morning work, when I do like my emails and I do some, freelance work. I love, love, love this. They smell incredible. They're high shine, and they just really kind of give your lips just a nice hydrated feel. But they don't have longevity. I think it's because I eat them, but they're really beautiful. Just like I really do love the YSL Candy Glaze right here. The lip balm, this one is so pretty. It's like a clear one, but this just lasts me all day. I applied this to the lip, and it just gives me such a beautiful shine. It's a beautiful coverage, but it's super hydrating. Like it's really hydrating. I don't feel it sticking on my lips. I don't feel it being tacky or sticky. It just really gives them that nice, like hydrated, like lip mask feel, which I really do appreciate. But I think my favorite of them all is actually the Fenty Beauty Tulip Kiss is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. I've talked about this nonstop. It's so pretty. This just goes on to any sort of like lip liner you wear, and it just blends so effortlessly. It's going to give you that smell of a Fenty gloss bomb. It's going to give you a hydrated lip of a lip balm, but it's going to give you shine of a gloss. It's so freaking pretty. It's one of my absolute favorites. Like I said, it's what I'm wearing on my lips right now. And this, you can never go wrong. You can never go wrong with this product. It is so beautiful, and I feel like this will fit so many people out there. For setting sprays, the only one I'm obsessed with is my one size. This one is just truly the best. But oh my god, guys, that is my top 3 products in every single category. I feel like I went off on tangent on some. I feel like I didn't explain enough on others. Like I feel like I just kind of said more of like the brand than the actual like product I was showing. But there's just some products from brands that I'm just like truly obsessed with, but I'm obsessed with more than just one product. I feel like some brands have so many products I'm obsessed with that I want to like show them all and just say, well, just look at the brand as a whole. You know what I mean? But I tried to narrow down everything I could as best I could. I know this is super long. I probably should have just done lip category, like just one, but I made it into multiple. I talked a lot, but I'll try to link everything that I talked about down below for you guys. But hopefully if you guys made it to the end of this video, please make sure then you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Thanks for being troopers. You guys are my real OG friends and I love you for it. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. So I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, biggest thank you goes these beautiful, wonderful page members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.